afternoon, Derek.
It's evening, Trey,
It is evening. Sorry, the day just runs into it. Hey, Supercross is coming to Florida.
and we're gonna be there.
We are going to be there. It is right around the corner. It is we're going to be in round 5. This is our episode 4 for the year because man, life happens. I mean, this is what you see right here. This is why it's my fault because I go to a job.
That's
So
unfortunate.
I go to a job. But hey, man, we are here Beyond the Curve, the MX podcast. We're going to talk about what happened in the Triple Crown. We're going to talk about what's going to happen in Tampa. We've got preliminary list of riders. We've got results. We had an SMX next round. I don't know.
I don't like it.
No, I don't like it.
Future sounds better.
But let's talk shop, man. I mean, where do you want to start?
It's a wild weekend. I mean, we missed a round, but
We missed around and we missed some industry news.
yeah, and we have more industry news this week.
I may have missed that.
Well, not so much industry as team news.
I may have missed that.
PC doesn't have any riders.
Oh yeah, what, Hammaker's hurt too.
Well, for this weekend they have riders.
Oh yeah.
West Coast they lost them all.
Yeah, they killed everybody. You know, it's funny. They were talking about the curse of PC. They went ahead and added DiFrancesco and Joe Shimoda in there because Joe Shimoda rode for PC and so did DiFrancesco, and both of them got hurt from previous rounds. But my goodness gracious, poor Mitch. I mean, I figure at some point he's just going to take his chair and like look down one of the downhill runs on a mountain bike. Be like, all right, man, it's over.
Yeah, that was. Well, I'm surprised he hasn't had a heart attack yet.
It's crazy.
You lose all your riders in 4 races.
You bring in 2 substitutes
and lose those.
Lose them
too.
So good.
One's
Lord.
not even supposed to be pro yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes and
blows the collarbone apart.
But yeah. So we had a Triple Crown race. Still not a huge fan of the Triple Crown, but the racing was not actually bad, and the intensity was pretty high.
It was good. Wasn't I mean it was full of action for sure, but it was all right. I don't know.
Let's go ahead and touch because honestly, they were talking about the SMX next round, and I feel like the graduating class last year was so good. I didn't know any. There's one name that I actually knew, and that was Liam Olaf. I didn't know anybody else.
Dayton Briggs.
Okay.
He's a big TikTok sensation.
Oh.
He does a lot of moto content. I've tried to get him on here before. Maybe someday we'll make that happen. But he went out and I thought he pulled the whole shot. Doesn't say who pulled the whole shot on here, but he led for a few turns anyway. Okay. He's a pretty bigger kid. Not weight wise, just taller. Out of California, but he's one of those kids that had a real big injury a few years back, and then he went and did an outdoors this year, and then he made it into the next program. So, Kristen Janik.
Oh, I do know that. Yeah, that name. But there's just a lot of names that I'm not really familiar. Now, what's funny is it Landon Gordon or is it Landon Gibson, the one that was actually racing last year as well in futures?
Landon Gordon is he rides Team Green.
Yeah,
we see a lot of him. He should have been in there last year.
Okay,
he was. He pitted with us at Daytona.
Okay,
with Rylan.
Question: there was a big guy, and I can't remember which bike he was on. It wasn't the guy that won. There was a big guy, one of the top 4 guys. He was a bigger dude. It wasn't. I don't think it was one of the Landons. Was it Landon Hartz? One of the dudes is a big boy in the futures or the next class.
I don't know.
Big boy. Like it was like, okay.
That's wild though. 2, 3, and 4 are all Landon.
Yeah.
Landon Gordon, Landon Gibson, Landon Hartz.
That must have been the name.
Yeah, this is a
few years ago. It was
the generation of Landons.
So is there a famous Landon that?
I'm gonna have to go back and look because I don't know.
I don't think of a motocross guy, but like, was there somebody popular 16, 17 years ago that was a Landon? Because we got a California, a Georgia, and an England.
Maybe. But I'm still gonna have to go back and look for your bigger guy because I don't.
Yeah, I can't. I was just watching it because he bodied guys, like he fought for positions. I want to say it was a Yamaha guy, but I don't remember. It was a few days ago, and but they're putting on. But by God, they crashed them out. The only 18 guys even started because they had already crashed a few, and then they crashed a few more.
Yeah.
So this class, I feel like we don't have the Cole Davies, the Drew Adams,
No, I think they're all pretty.
Gavin Tower. We don't have this. Is not the star class.
No, but they're pretty equal, so it makes for
Yeah,
decent racing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any like
Immediate superstars.
yeah, and like the generational talent
Yeah.
in there in that. It's
Not yet.
just
Yet.
all good guys, you
Yeah.
know, just going for it.
Because that and I what's funny is you have those years at Loretta's and you have those years in pros. You have where everybody's good. There's that one guy and then everybody else is good. Right now in SMX next, which by the way there was only one West Coast round. All the other rounds are East Coast.
East, yeah.
And the finals is in PA. I mean,
yeah,
that's crazy to me.
And that's why I wanted to go to that race because
Yeah.
I wanted to. Obviously, we're from up there, but I just wanted to go up there for all that. But plane tickets right now are insane.
Even if you get them super early.
So right now we're looking at like $400 freaking per person.
Ooh.
I don't want to say that might have been round trip, but for all 5 of us to go,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah. I feel like I'm stuck. Hold on. I got a technical difficulty. There we go. I thought the cat was pulling on it because it kept moving. Yeah. But no, so I think the SMX next. I think this year is going to be a building year for some of these guys. I think we were spoiled last year. We saw such good battles with some good names. We had Cochran. We had Drew Adams. We had
Cole Davies.
We had Gavin Towers. We had those guys. And there's just not, those names aren't there this year.
No, we don't have that. Yeah. Definitely no superstars, like you said, for sure.
Yeah. So cool. They get their first round in. Most of them survived. Now they get to come to the East Coast. And I mean, can you imagine of a more intense place to have a championship battle? You know, we have Vegas, we have Nashville. We're going to go to Philly. That's where their championship round is.
Is it? Or is it in Pittsburgh? It's Pittsburgh.
Still.
I don't think Philly is a...
Still, it's Pittsburgh.
A next round, I mean, but yeah, of all places.
Of all places.
And April outdoors.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, but it snows a lot in April in PA. I think they got a half an inch of ice today or yesterday.
We have a half an inch of heat.
Can you imagine a Supercross race? It's going to be April, and there's a chance of a half an inch of ice. Get the snowmobiles out, buddy.
Pull those stud tires in.
Yeah.
Better get those self-tapping screws.
Wouldn't that be wild? Get an ice storm right before the Supercross race.
But 250s. There's this kid named Deegan that's supposed to be really good. I feel like his ego has gotten in the way of his riding.
Yeah, I don't think his mouth is. He's definitely not putting the work where his mouth is.
Because there's this New Zealand kid that's just coming along, and he's just like, hey, I think I'll win some of these races.
Had he not wrecked, he would have took the whole thing.
Yeah,
would have took the whole thing. I don't think Deegan could touch him.
I don't know. I don't know.
On Saturday, I don't think.
It's crazy to me that Davies is just coming out because like he was good last year in SMX.
I wouldn't expect this though.
But he wasn't like. I mean, Drew was better for the most part,
and I wouldn't expect this happen.
No.
He's a whole new kid, and his riding style is different.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like he did last year.
No,
at all. It's like either he's in a suit and somebody else is riding that bike, or he has totally morphed his.
Well, you can tell it's kind of
program.
It's not. I don't think it's a shock because I think he's a good rider, but it's kind of a shock to him because he doesn't really know what to say on the podium.
Oh no, he doesn't. And
he's a terrible.
I do love, he's winning, and some of his interviews this week were hilarious because he's smiling ear to ear. He doesn't know what to say, and he's trying to crack jokes, and it's just hilarious.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not, but it's so funny.
Yeah,
and it's not a Deegan who gets up there. Well, if I got one coming, I got one coming. He's got one coming.
Yeah.
Cole, it's just funny.
I still don't know. Did we ever get to the bottom of what Julian supposedly said?
I don't think
Okay, so it was just air talk. It was just an air quote.
the when when he said last week about
Like Julian ran his mouth earlier this week, so I had to put him in.
I don't know what at this point I don't even think he knows. I swear to God he goes to bed and he hears all this stuff in his dreams. Then he wakes up and gives it to the press. He
Yeah,
said it.
yeah.
I'm telling you, because it's gotten to the point now that this kid runs his mouth so much,
It's
and he
like
can't back
nonstop.
it up.
He hasn't. He hasn't yet. I mean, he did win.
He's won,
He did win.
and he's still riding good. But he's the way he talked, he was going out there and dominating
Yeah,
everybody, and he's not.
I think that, and there's still a chance that he wins the championship this year and then
Mm-hmm.
validates himself. But it's going to be weird if 2 years in a row he doesn't win a Supercross championship, which he's the first kid that's been. I'm going to say roughly, quote unquote, the first kid. He had a Supercross track built for him at 65s, 85s.
Mm-hmm.
His dad just increased the size as he grew, but he's been riding Supercross since he was a little boy.
But I do think he's going to go out there and hammer motocross.
Yeah,
I think he's going to win for sure. Supercross isn't working.
no, and I don't know, and it's kind of when Jet went through his metamorphosis of trying to learn. In motocross, there is time, there is space, there's not space or time in these races.
No, and I think I truthfully think his send it attitude is what
Yeah,
is his deterrence in Supercross. I don't think he knows how to turn that off, and you can't send it the way he does. The way he's obviously these guys are scrubbing, but he takes it to the extreme.
right.
He's throwing nasty oppos over everything. He whips the hell out of everything, and I think it's too much. So and it ends up slowing him down in the long run. I truthfully think that's the problem.
Yeah, so Jordan Smith, congratulations to Triumph. That is actually a really cool story. I don't think it's gotten enough press, but they literally came out with a bike last year.
Mm-hmm.
They had an okay season. They only ran East Coast. They went to the motocross. Honestly, they had some massive struggles. Hey, we're going to develop a team this year. We're going to have 4 riders. We're going to do both coasts. We're going to hire Jordan Smith. Well, Jordan Smith can't stay off the ground. Jordan Smith crashes. Jordan Smith crashes. He does. He
Mm-hmm.
does. At the Triple Crown, he went 2-3-1. Okay, like cool. Like,
That's good.
and they won.
Yeah, and I really respect him on the podium, kind of opening up a little bit about it.
Yeah,
And he said, everybody said I was crazy for leaving Star, and now look at us. And
yeah.
I agree. Like, congratulations to him. That's fantastic. Um, Caleb got to go to Nate Thrasher's wedding,
Oh, really?
and Jordan was there. Over the summer,
Okay.
and he got to sit down and talk to him a little bit about it. He said the kid's really cool, and
But congratulations to the whole team.
mm-hmm.
I hope it's a long stay. I hope it's not like one of these teams. They come in, they can't get their traction. We saw they went from Renan to FXR, but the bike must be pretty damn good
Yeah.
because you don't.
Everybody says it's so much faster than the Yamaha.
But it's got a hand. I don't care. The Yamaha, back when Yamaha came out with their backwards engine and they put James Stewart on it, the bike was the fastest bike out there,
Mm-hmm.
and James Stewart couldn't ride it because the bike sucked.
Yeah, it was like a brick.
So the bike is fast, but it has a good chassis.
Yeah, and that makes all the difference. I could
Yeah.
never ride a Yamaha either because I'm small. James Stewart's small. The small stature guys were really, unless you're like a Ryan Villapoto or somebody like that. I mean, the small stature guys just had trouble on those bikes because it was like riding a rock around.
Yeah.
They might be fast, it might be a rocket ship, but that's all it is.
Yeah.
You can feel every shake.
And that's what I was saying about the Triumph. Whether it's fast or not, it's cool, but it's handling.
And it has to be comfortable,
Yeah. And
I'd love to ride one.
It looks good. So congratulations to them. That was awesome. The aforementioned Hayden Deegan pulls out a second, but it was not the smoothest of nights for him.
Yeah. And it's only a second because of Cole Davies' error.
Yeah. Well, and Julian Beaumer.
Yeah.
Julian Beaumer, you want to talk about stuff to, was it Staples came out with That's Easy?
The easy button.
He made it easy for everybody else because let's see, I will get the lead and I will crash. I will get the lead and I will crash. And like, Good Lord, man.
Yeah, it was.
And I have to ask, is that pressure? Is that pressure? I know he tucked the front and then gave it too much gas in each crash. One was he hit the brakes too hard, tucked the front. Second one, he hit too much gas and tucked the front. Is that pressure?
I think he's feeling it at this point, but I give him props for admitting that it was him at fault.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you're going to hear something like that out of Deegan. I think he's Julian hit my back tire. He's got one coming, and Julian got up there and he's like, it's my fault. I went down both times, both on me. I do think he's feeling he has that championship in his grasp, and I think it's getting to him in the winning, and he's still a rookie. So
and when he didn't fall, he finished second.
mm-hmm.
It's a good run. It's like if he stays up, but that pressure will bite you. I mean, instead of finishing second or first this past weekend, he finished fourth. That's a big points jump.
Yeah.
You lose those points, and that hurts.
Mosman was a different rider in this one.
Yeah, Did you see the crash? Like someone posted on
Mm-hmm.
X. Maybe neck braces aren't so bad. Did you see the violence of the crash that he took into the tough blocks?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I don't know how his head didn't fly off.
Still ride. Yeah.
Oh my God!
And he still did.
Yes.
Well.
Yes. I mean, I think the crash was during qualifying or practice.
Either way, though, like he came off of a neck break.
Yeah.
That's why he's wearing a neck brace. You've seen most of these guys don't have one
No.
anymore. They don't wear them anymore. I always did. I don't push them on my kids anymore. But that's why he wears a neck brace when you see everybody else is not. But you come off a neck break and then you take a crash like that.
Oh my God, that thing was so fast.
And you still come out and get fifth.
Yeah, and with a 6.43. I mean, not walking into it. Like you got better as each moto went on. I think Cole Davies, we talked about, the dude just looked good. Like he just looked good. Julian Beaumer, minus his crashes. I mean, honestly, to get back to fourth. Well, the first crash, the reason he got back to fourth is because when he crashed, he just blocked the whole track.
Yeah.
So no one could get by. So he actually got back to fourth. But I think Garrett Marchbanks, I think that's where he is.
Did he get hurt too?
He's out now too.
That's what I thought. Because I knew the whole team was gone. When did he get hurt, though? It was this week.
This week.
Yeah.
This week.
Drew got hurt there. Garrett Marchbanks got hurt.
Yeah.
Training.
Week. Because, he was there. But this is where he is. Because if he can't pull a start, he finished 5th, 10th, and 6th. 5th and 6th, okay, that's kind of where you can get to.
Yeah, I don't think he's not their star player.
No. But he has to get starts. If he gets starts, he's fine.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to a podcast from almost a year ago, and it was St. Louis, when Marchbanks and Phil started. They were all still on the Club MX team together.
Mm-hmm.
And Marchbanks crashed or did something and had to start the next moto beside Phil. And that whole week, because it had rained, all Marchbanks did was work on starts. He started using Phil's clutch, the feel, the spring tension. And they interviewed Phil, and Phil's like, man, at some point, you have to be a man. And if you have this problem, you have to fix this problem. Mom and dad can't hold your hand. Yeah. And he's like, I told him, like, if you're having a problem with starts, then you have to figure out what the problem is with the starts. He said, we're in the gate. I take off. I shift to third, and he's still in second gear. I said, bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, those are just things that he has to work on. Well, if he's still battling those things, if there's a comfort, okay, I'm winding out second, you get that noise in your head of, this is now I shift versus, I should have shifted 2/10 earlier. And Phil said, as soon as I shifted to third, he was still pulling second, and I was gone.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at his starts, he's still in that same mode.
Yeah, something's not clicking.
But it's not the bike.
Altogether.
It's not the bike. Yeah, it's him. It's him, because it's two different bikes.
It's all brain, really.
Anthony Bourdon could be, I don't even know if they mentioned his name one time in the broadcast. And I was like, dude, he's like floating around, top 10 guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he beat Cody Shaw, Joe Shimoda. That's Joe's own doing, but
Yeah, Joe's battling, I think, the hand thing.
I
He
mean,
ha-
and
he
how
actually
couldn't you be?
he looked good for a while. I
Yeah,
just think he gets tired.
But I'm sure, and I
Probably
guarantee it
hurts.
starts hurting
Yeah,
because he's not really giving it a break.
yeah,
I mean, you can only give it so much of a rest. Now he'll get a rest from it, and
for a couple weeks,
yeah, and it should be
better.
a lot better by the time he comes back.
But
But
he's lost a lot of
he's
points.
pretty much
Yeah,
took the damage at this point.
yeah. So, but yeah, Anthony Bourdon, Cody Shock, Parker Ross. Dude, is this Parker Ross guy the next guy that's we're gonna be hearing about on a battling for some sort of factory ride?
I don't know yet. Haven't quite decided yet. Moto 1 was good. 2 and 3, just outside the top 10, but for really being a nobody.
Yeah,
And there he is.
and he battles.
Yeah, still privateer.
Sometimes he gets in the way,
Mm-hmm.
but um, Yoshimoto we talked about. Lux Turner. Really, there's nothing. There's nothing. Okay, Billy Lininovich made it to the main. Awesome, congratulations.
Yeah,
I guess I have to retract my statement.
I was listening to an interview and a couple guys talking about him this throughout the week, and I'm like, wonder if Trey's gonna reconsider.
No, I'm not going to reconsider. But congratulations for making it in. You raced your way in. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, if you are a racer and this is what you want to do for your life, there's a 41-year-old man out there beating you. Maybe it's time to reconsider.
Yeah, or use that as
or step up.
or use that as a driver that you're not too old.
Yeah.
One of the two.
But yeah, the 250s were honestly it was very top loaded as what was important and what was happening, in my opinion.
Yeah.
450s. Dude, we had excitement upon excitement upon excitement.
450s were a lot more wild. Cooper.
Oh, we have a cat.
Cooper Webb was.
What happened in the first moto?
I never would have gave him that.
No, and he just took off.
He hasn't, and I have seen no signs of that racing at all from him.
No.
He qualified like
6th or 7th.
No, it was worse than that. I think.
Was it further back?
I'm gonna look it up.
He wasn't on my radar for fantasy because
I believe it was worse than that.
Maybe it was 9th or 10th. It was pretty far back.
I thought he had double digits. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking cat's pissed.
You made the cat very angry.
That's all right. It makes me very angry. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was.
But yeah, he came out, and all of a sudden, the guy's not the fastest. We keep talking about his top speed. No one caught him. Jet pressured him.
All right, he was 9th.
Okay, so that's still pretty.
It might have been one of the sessions that he was like. I swore he's like 12, something like that.
Yeah, but he goes out, gets the lead, and doesn't relinquish the lead. Oh, and by the way, he's blitzing the whoops.
Mm-hmm.
And he's launching that. They kept calling that a triple. That wasn't a triple. It was like a freaking octal jump or something. I don't know. 84 feet. They said it was 82 feet, but it was actually.
Yeah, I don't know why they were calling that a triple because it was nowhere near. Oh, it was a double and then a long section.
Yeah.
Just to get across the start.
Yeah.
And then not quite a wall jump, but it's pretty much a roller, a big roller, single into the turn. And who Roxon pulled that off first, I think.
It was actually Justin Hill. Justin Hill pulled it first.
Because Justin Hill is usually the first one to do all kinds of crazy
He's the
stuff.
current Justin Brayton. Justin Brayton was the guy that used to see that stuff.
And Justin Hill is, if you watch Red Bull Imagination, that's besides Axel Hodges, the guy that's out there racing would be Justin Hill doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's the one that builds all kinds of crazy transfers and things like that. The old Kevin Windham style stuff. Except now they're doing it hundreds and hundreds of feet. But yeah, no, that was
a huge jump.
And it booter, man.
How about so what I was reading during the broadcast and stuff was, I guess between that jump and the single, that massive single that right before the finish line. That was supposed to be a wall jump.
And they're
supposed to be a wall jump, and they are
almost
flying.
landing on the takeoff of the finish line.
Did you hear that guys were blowing axles and bearings?
Are you surprised?
No, but I mean that's how hard they were pushing.
Yeah.
But kudos to the track for building. I mean, kudos to they are now the SMX track crew. Um, kudos to them for building. There were some alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
There were some alternatives to that track.
Yeah, but the big guys were the ones that dictated where the speed was at. So instead of rolling the wall, and
Yeah.
the finish line was very short, and I think that's what played a big part in it, because they would soar that wall jump, and then, like I said, pretty much land on the face and take off again.
And then it was straight into a triple. So it
Yeah.
was massive single, double, triple.
Did you see any press day where Tomac was hitting the triple on the inside?
No.
Tomac was skipping the bull turn, taking the inside, and just and hitting the triple, the first triple out of that one turn, railing that triple out of the inside.
I don't remember if it was the 250 class or the 450 class. But
I think Deegan was the only
one of the guys
250 to hit that.
So after the finish line, there was that triple.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys overjumped the finish line and landed in the pocket between the two, and then hit the triple.
Yeah.
I can't remember who. I can't remember. And Michelle and I looked at one another, and I was like, "That's got to hurt."
But he landed.
And he landed.
Yeah.
And then he did it, and then he kept going, and I'm like, "There's got to be a shake off going here."
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but I remember watching it because I'm like, oh, and that's what I was saying about the finish line was so short.
Yeah.
And it was such a booter too, so it boot you up, and I think that's why they were hitting that wall jump like that and almost killed the momentum, because they lost so much momentum to stop on that wall, and then take off for what, to break again, because it was such a short finish.
But I actually like the track. I mean, the stadium's cool. I was worried. I didn't really want Glendale to be a Triple Crown because it's such a cool stadium, but they did a good job. The sand section actually was good. It was actually cool watching guys rail the outside of the sand and then hit the hard clay berm and then bounce back in. And, there was just multiple lines that were usable. But back to Cooper Webb winning the first one. Yeah, none of us had that on our dance ticket.
No,
nobody had that on our dance.
And he backed it up somewhat, not with any more wins, but a 5 and a 3.
Yeah, but Jet looked good. Good. Was coming, but couldn't close on him. And then the second one, who won the second one? Oh, Ken won the second one, and Jet couldn't close on him.
And they were all different winners.
Yeah. Eli got terrible starts.
Jet probably could have won it.
On the second one?
Well,
he wasn't closing on Cooper.
No. I mean, overall.
Oh.
I even if he would have pulled a 2-2-2, he still would have won.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It was just all over the place. All these guys, when you get 3 different winners, it's just the racing is so intense so far.
And we lost. I mean, I know we'll touch on it, but we finally lost a big guy.
Yeah.
We finally lost a big guy, but we only lost one big guy. Now we lost a really big guy, but we lost a big guy. But
yeah, and if you're looking down through this, is one going to make much of a difference when you got Justin Cooper in 13th, Barsha in 12th,
yeah.
Ferrandis
was actually racing for a while.
Yeah, but I mean, not a factory guy, but the top 13 minus one of them is a factory guy.
Yeah.
Colt Nichols doesn't even count as a factory guy. Benny Bloss. I mean, yes, they're good riders, but they're not this level. They're not these top 10 level, but it's just so stacked.
How about Eli Tomac? I mean, this is the thing that you never thought you'd see. Eli Tomac battling Justin Hill.
Yeah.
Justin Hill battled everybody this weekend.
And he was so good.
He was.
Incredible. That was the Justin Hill that I said we got to watch.
Yeah.
Got to watch for him this year. And it took 4 rounds, but
well, he did good in the first round.
He did, but not this.
Yeah. The straight up top 10.
And racing Eli Tomac.
Yeah.
Tomac couldn't get around him.
It was crazy, watching the racing. So if we go for the first moto, Cooper wins, Jet finishes second, Chase finishes third. And it was funny because he didn't really have anything. None of them had anything. There were some gap closings, and then it was yeah, we're done. We can't do anything. Ken Roxon, is Ken Roxon really is he if he stays healthy, is this what we get all year, or are we just counting down till there's some sort of malady? Because he looks really good.
And that's the Ken Roxon we know. So I think when he feels good, this is the Ken we look for. But he never makes it through a whole season
Yeah,
anymore.
but he's
It's
having fun.
it's usually some kind of illness. Usually it's illness.
Yeah,
Hopefully not injury. But it, he's almost at the age now. It's like me. I mean, same age gap. When you get sick, you're sick.
yeah.
You know. So
But isn't it crazy if you look at it? You have Cooper Webb, Ken Roxon, Eli Tomac, uh, Justin Hill's getting older, Jason Anderson, Malcolm Stewart. You have out of the top 10, you have one, two, three, four, five, six guys who are, and if Barsha was up there, you'd have 7 guys who are in their 30s or close to their 30s. Because Justin Hill's not a baby anymore. I think.
no,
He's older now, right? If he's not 30, he's close to 30.
I think he is 30 now.
But dude,
Regardless.
they look spry as can be.
Mm-hmm.
They're not letting. I mean, honestly, it should be the Jet, Chase, and Hunter show. It really should be, and these guys should be filling in gaps, and they're leading the charge.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. It's wild. I'm trying to look at his age because I can't remember.
Now Tomac got a
Yeah.
terrible start.
He will be 30. He's born in 95.
Okay, so he's close.
Mm-hmm.
So he's another veteran. Tomac got a terrible start, and the first one got up to 6, which is what we said early on when they were talking about. Yeah, he got about as far up as he can get. 6 that's kind of the cutoff point for one of these top guys. And then he got another terrible start and got to 4th. And then all of a sudden, he didn't get a terrible start, but it wasn't the first start. But good God, he went around like he just put on the burners, and it was like, all right, I have to go lead now.
And I don't think that track led or was really built for making up the time like he normally would.
It was very slick.
Yeah, and there was just he could put beast mode out, but I think it would have just hindered him.
Did you hear? Chase Sexton got a beast mode.
Yeah.
In the first one?
One of them.
One of the first
I'm
2.
I'm watching it, but I can't.
Ricky Carmichael was like, oh my God, he's gone into beast mode.
Mm-hmm. He looked like Tomac.
Yeah. It was like all of a sudden he was coming out of nowhere and just catching everybody.
And we haven't seen that out of him either.
No.
He's been pretty mellow. Yeah.
I don't really have any worries. I think the racing's good. I think it's exciting. We do know Chase, Cooper, Ken if he's healthy, Eli. We know we've lost Jet. It's very sad. It is what it is. But daggum, but you know what that puts a hindrance on? That chase for 72 that he touted. That puts a big damper on that because you lose this entire year.
Yeah, and it takes a lot to make all that up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's his first big injury, really. Yeah. Besides the thumb. The thumb was, as of last year, the thumb was like a normal occurrence. But this would be his first big injury. So,
and we'll have to see what the mentality. I mean, he's young, so there's still probably this championship mentality that he wants to do. Plus, he probably wants to win the Supercross title.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think Hunter had a great night. We never talk about Hunter. Hunter quietly does well.
Yeah.
I mean, he finished 5th.
Yeah, he's not been...
And he just was there. But do you think they have the bike sorted now?
I think they've got it mostly figured out. You know, I think they've done enough testing at this point. I don't think it's still 100%.
Well, Ricky was talking about that it looks like the other guys are able to jump through stuff, and if it's not perfect, they're able to still push the bike, where it looked like Jet had to hit everything perfect in order to push the bike.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see how Hunter responds to that because he's going to be the only guy for the rest of the year, unless they bring somebody up.
Did you see the Hunter interview about Jason Anderson?
No.
I don't remember who did it. I don't think it was Gypsy Tales, but it was one of the press conferences,
Okay.
and they asked him about his feelings towards Jason Anderson. He's like, I just really dislike the guy. I got nothing good to say about him. He said that on camera. Yeah,
Really?
he's like, I just honestly, I really dislike the guy. Yeah, it was hilarious. And then they put in a copy of Anderson talking afterwards, and I can't remember his comeback,
That's
but
crazy.
yeah,
So is there anybody that we're worried about? Like I feel like Jason Anderson, but he just was on the podium. So we're really worried, or do you just have a bad race?
I don't know. He's been good,
Yeah,
but
it's just a bad week because this track would have suited him perfectly.
yeah,
Dry.
but I don't know that it seems like the fast paced tracks are not working for him.
Okay.
Maybe
So is there anybody that we're Aaron Plessinger? He is not showing anything.
no, I had such high hopes for him too, and
Yeah.
I don't see any chance of a win. Maybe
Malcolm,
maybe Detroit.
Malcolm Stewart's doing exactly what Malcolm Stewart does.
Mm-hmm.
There's no complaints.
No, he's doing all right.
Dylan Ferrandis, I can't ask for more. Justin Barsha, did he just have a bad weekend? Because he should.
He's been better
Yeah.
for sure.
So, but are we worried?
No, the last one he pulled a sixth, so
Justin Cooper, are we worried about him?
he ain't doing hot
No.
for
No.
being a star guy. I think he should be.
The rest of them, Joey, Shane McElrath, Joey Sabachi. I guess I hoped for more for Joey, but maybe this is where Joey is.
It's definitely he's just happy to be there, and I think that's honestly what it is. He's just
He's making a living.
happy to still be doing it. You know, like I said, that guy's battled some internal stuff. So
But yeah, I don't really not. There's nothing that blows my doors off.
no, it's just good racing, and I'm happy that we're getting a show
Do
instead
you?
of
So we're going east. We finally are going east. First race of the east is going to be in Tampa. 2 sand sections. Is it just me or does the track? Are we going to get like 43-second laps? It looks really short to me.
it does look short, but a sand rhythm section is what's mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there, and I'm anxious to see what happens
Yeah.
because that's pretty abnormal.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen a sand rhythm section. I don't know how that's gonna work.
They've done some like sand bigger rollers with
Just
some
rollers and stuff, but this
stuff.
looks like a full blown rhythm section.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. We got the theoretical entry list, obviously. Pierce Brown, RJ Hampshire. Do we know if RJ's back?
But I understand he's racing.
Max Nancy, Daxton Bennett,
Not too worried about Nick Romano unless
Nick
he
Romano,
really changed something.
Nate Thrasher.
Cameron McAdoo, Levi Kitchen, Seth
Is Harry
Hammaker.
Coolest really racing the 250 this year? He was a 450 like
Yeah,
motocross star last year.
I don't know.
Levi
Has to be. I mean,
is Levi healthy? Is Cameron
yeah,
healthy?
Levi. I think he really just wanted to race East. I mean, honestly, that's what it comes down to. Cameron is good.
Seth Hammaker good?
Yeah, we're still, and we're missing Austin Faulkner in there.
Colin Park is
Oh, Austin Faulkner's down.
Colin Park is healthy. He's going to race with Phoenix. Carson Mumford, Mark Finis.
Oh, Hardy Munoz going out on his own.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, Austin Faulkner. We got a Florida boy. I saw Florida boys in here. I was looking. Oh, Aiden Shive. Crockett Myers is not a Florida boy, but he trains a lot in Florida, rides a lot in Florida.
Yeah.
Luca Marcelisi.
It's such a.
Jack Chambers back from Europe on his European vacation.
I didn't know he was riding.
Yeah, he's running from Partzilla.
Awesome.
He's been training. Who else we got here? There's a lot of guys, man. There's a lot of guys. Cole Bradford from HBI, Tampa, Florida kid. That's it for the 250s. So we'll see. I mean, that's a lot of guys. That's a
big
lot
entry
of
list.
guys. And obviously that's the pre-entry, like they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is like we've already lost Jet, so we know 450. If anybody
Yeah,
comes
we know
over,
who's going to be there.
except we do have a couple new people.
Rylan will be there.
Ryland's going to be there. You have, by the way, if you are a fan of the sport, go watch. I know that might be Raw, but Justin Starling and Logan Carnell each do like blogs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of like from their POV. Like it's just go watch them.
Logan Cornell's is great because
Yeah,
it's raw,
yeah.
and Logan is such a raw kid. His one this week, I watched some of the shorts on it. It's hilarious.
But give these guys a look. I mean, they're
That
whether or not,
supports it supports them.
yeah, they get around there. So yeah, we do have. I guess Bubba Polly is. I don't know if he's been actually doing any or if he's just starting now. I haven't really seen his name in any of the other stuff. But you have Rylan Munson. Good lord, sorry, Rylan. With Privateer Paddock, Scott Meshy's coming in. Jared Lesher.
Jared Lesher was in a couple of the other
Was
ones.
he?
Yeah,
Bobby Piazza, Colby Kopp, Tristan Lane was a Florida kid. But yeah, so it should be a fun weekend. I know we're going early. We're going to go to qualifying and practice and do the whole
yep.
pit. We're taking a couple people who have never been to Supercross to show them. We kind of showed them on TV and like this is what it's like, and they're like, "Oh my god, this looks so cool!" And
Yep.
so
I got to go get my monster cans because I wasn't paying for pit passes. So.
we went ahead and paid for everything. Everything's done. Like we just did the whole kit and caboodle. And
Yeah, I'll take my monster cans in. They say it still works in Tampa,
okay,
so that's our goal. But yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do the FCA. Um, that's gonna be fun with Kyle McGraw. That he's been on our podcast before. I don't remember which episode, but
a long time ago
it's like right at the beginning.
on the pool.
Yeah, so
On the pool deck.
we're gonna get him back here. I just talked with him today. They're doing some really big things, so I'd like to get them back here and chat about that again.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. It's been a while since we had anybody on, so I'm gonna see if I'm gonna take my phone and think I'll probably get some video of the FCA. I know Feld's weird about all that, so if I do it with my phone, I'm just gonna play fan. And I told him I was gonna do so. So um, yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend.
Cool. Yep, it's gonna be awesome. Looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. This will be the first race that I've been to this year, and it's kind of weird because
As a fan,
that's my life, and it's like I haven't been to a race, and now I'm actually going just as a fan.
yeah.
Just as a fan, and I pay my tickets, and I'm gonna buy my expensive pretzel and nachos and hang out and just be
So
a fan.
that's what I was telling some guys today. I was even talking to Rylan this week, and I'm like, man, and Matt Bell, talking with him this week too, and I'm like, man, it's weird.
Yeah.
It is, but it's gonna be nice to just enjoy it.
Yeah, I caught up with Matt Dixon, who was Ryland's kind of mechanic last year, and flew into the races, and
Mm-hmm.
has become a pilot himself, commercially licensed pilot, and he's going to be there working for the race. And we were talking a little bit, and I was like, I can't wait to catch up. I haven't seen you
Yeah,
because I got to see him like 5 or 6 times last year, and it's like I haven't seen him yet, and it's just weird. It's just a weird dynamic, but. I mean, there's a lot of change that has happened, and
yeah,
there's a lot of things going on, and seasons of life. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice a little bit, and that's just what it is this year.
yeah. We'll be back.
But that's kind of why we also haven't had podcasts consistently. Is it's on me, guys. I apologize. So I mean, we are the Beyond the Curve DMX podcast sometimes,
Yeah,
because it's on me. Like I've got a normal job. Like actually today, the only reason I can come here is the other team. This is college sports. I don't know how this happens, but the other team couldn't come today. Otherwise, I would have been at a softball game.
yeah. How does that operate?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's got to be a default or it's got to be a forfeit or something.
Mm-hmm.
But just I have a normal job. I was in my office. I was at a luncheon. I was in Lakeland, and literally on the way home, I'm like, I got to get back to, or on the way back to the office, I got to get back in order for softball. And the volleyball coach texts me and says, "There is no softball. Can you come to my office? I need to talk to you." I was like, "What do you mean there's no softball? Like, I'm coming to the game. Now there's no." So I found out there was no softball, and that led to,
Here we are.
hey, I can be here. But that's just life right now. We'll get it figured out. We'll be here. We'll be here as often as we can, and especially like as seasons end for teams, it'll be easier to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, we're here. We did it. We're in the sweat box.
It is hot in here. I got to get a fan in here.
We're in the sweat box, but we're doing it. We're doing it for the fans,
That's right.
and we're going to talk about it anyway.
Yep.
So,
Regardless.
but thank you guys. This has been episode 4 of season 3 of the Beyond the Curve the MX podcast. As always, that is Derek Schaefer, handyman. Derek, DBS Custom Fabrication Handyman Services. I am Trey Heath. I am gloriously sponsored by MTB Homes and Full Service Property Management because I have an awesome wife. And we will talk to you as soon as we can. Y'all have a good week. Bye bye.